Metroid Prime 4 is getting a lot of mixed reviews, guys, and it's kind of a concern. Came out today, right off the bat, and I'm saying this. I will be playing the game. Look at me in the eyes. I will be playing it, finding out for myself, but it's a little bit of a concern to me for a so mixed bag of reviews coming out, not just from critics, but gamers now that the game is officially out. It's a bit of a concern. Now, this tweet that I put out the other day caused quite a commotion, got a lot of Metroid Prime fanboys upset at me. I quote tweeted Shinobi 602's review roundup. Basically, they posted all the scores from the outlets that were nines, eights, and so forth. I put, imagine waiting nearly 2 decades for Metroid Prime 4 just for Nintendo to hand us another perfectly average, perfectly safe, perfectly forgettable release. Nintendo fans deserve better, but somehow they keep clapping for mediocrity. And in the comments, a lot of people are like, eight, an 81 and an 8 is mediocre. Where are you at? What kind of idiot are you? And blah, blah. They didn't understand the point that I was trying to make, guys. It's been 18 years since the last Metroid Prime game. 8s and 81s on Metacritics, that's not acceptable, at least in my opinion. But a lot of times, Nintendo fans, they just say, hey, it's good. It's good. It's mediocrity, guys. You settle for whatever Nintendo chooses to put out there. And now that we're starting to see people playing the game, people are putting some mixed reviews out there, and it's a lot of a concern. For example, right away, we got RGB on X who posted this. I only see two reasons why this looks like this, sounds like this, plays like this. Option 1, hardware limitation. Option 2, develop skill issue. Okay, maybe third, both, right? And of course, is the infamous desert scene with the bike. I mean, tell me, 18 years development for this? This does not look like a current gen game, guys. Look how underdeveloped that looks. Somebody tell me, is this what you've been waiting for 18 years? Is this even Metroid Prime? This looks like it was a game trying to be something else. It looks mediocre. You can't tell me that that looks like it's something that's worth $70 right off the first impression, right? And sure, oh, you have to find out for yourself. You have to play it for yourself to find out. But $70 for a game that's been in development hell for like 18 years, restarted from the ground up because Bandai Namco was doing it, and then Nintendo scrapped it, and then they got Retro Studios on. You see a lot of people are saying, why does it look like that? And of course, you got Nintendo fanboys basically saying, "Oh, did you even play it? Hard on like they will go and die on the sword of mediocrity." And I'm guilty of it too. I'm a Nintendo fanboy, but come on, like there is enough of a concern here that's valid. The opinion's valid. You can see same boss fight design from 2002. When you look at that, and then something like Returnal, it's easy to understand why it's the worst reviewed Prime entry, which it is the worst reviewed Prime entry right now. It's at an 81, which is still not bad. Let me reiterate that. It's not bad by any means. But when the others are 90s and above that range, and this one was 18 years in the making, how come Nintendo didn't try to polish it to be something great? Continuing on, RGB says, gaming moved on. It seems only Nintendo fanboys believe it's okay to play identical nearly 25 years later. And yeah, I mean, again, like I said, Nintendo put something safe out, something forgettable that we'll beat within a couple of weeks and we'll move on. 18 years down the drain like that. Now, Spawn Wave, you guys think that I'm just reading tweets out from trolls and uncredible sources. You got Spawn Wave here. What are you guys going to say? What are you going to say now about that? It said, played about 6 hours of Metroid Prime 4 today, and the large desert area is such a head-scratching part of the game because otherwise, when it just tries to be a Metroid Prime game, it actually does it really well. Again, for whatever reason, Nintendo wants to force those Breath of the Wild bike mechanics on us. And again, you can't say, oh, well, it's just a whole bunch of crybabies. This is Spawn Wave, somebody that's well respected and looked in high regard for their gaming opinion. So what are you going to say about that? What do you think about that, bish? As Ethan Ralph would say. Now, here's Luke Stevens, who says, Let me get this straight. If you pay $29.99 for the collectible Samus amiibo in Metroid Prime 4, you get to play select music. So you get to either play or select music while driving the Viola bike in the otherwise quiet desert. In other words, they locked music while riding through a desert behind a $30 paywall. Am I missing something that makes this not insane? So yeah, Nintendo fanboys, again, you're letting Nintendo treat us like dirt. In order for you to select music in the desert and play music, you have to pay $29.99 for an amiibo because Nintendo locked a basic feature of the fucking game behind a fucking overpriced toy. And nobody's outraged about that? Are you kidding me? Nobody is outraged about Nintendo paywalling a basic ass feature for a Metroid game. Now, I haven't played the game yet, so I don't know if this is true, but this is alleged right here. Alleged right here. That is retarded. Why are you guys okay with that? Why are Nintendo fans okay with Nintendo doing something like paywalling a basic feature, which is music, in a game? In order to hear music, you have to buy the amiibo. In order to hear music while you're on the bike, get fucking real. And since people responded to my original tweet so badly, I went ahead and quote tweeted saying, a lot of people are misreading my tweet. I'm just giving my opinion on the scores we're seeing. From what I've seen in reviews, it's very mixed. It's Metroid Prime 4. We've been waiting for years. It needs to be better than just an 81 in my opinion. I think that is a valid a valid criticism. Like if GTA 6 comes out and it's sitting at an 80, 81, that's not good enough. How long have we been waiting for that game? Going on, I said in my video, I mentioned that an 81 isn't bad, but it's actually the lowest rated Metroid Prime ever, which is a little concerning. Also, my point about Nintendo fans often accepting mediocrity still stands because they are just satisfied with, oh, it works. It just works. Like Star Wars Outlaws, I had a whole bunch of people like Player Essence and them coming at me. You guys are Nintendo shills. I'm sorry. Cry about it. But just working, oh, it just works. That's not enough, especially when we could get a better version of Star Wars Outlaws on a different platform, whether it's PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. Okay? Those days of, oh, it's just working, that doesn't cut it when we're spending good money on video games, especially game key cards that don't even hold the actual game in it, and it's overpriced because of a Nintendo Switch tax. We're getting a $70 Metroid Prime game here that is barely worth that price alone. Nostalgia bait doesn't work anymore. Nintendo thinks just because they slapped Metroid on the cover that people are going to buy it. They're taking advantage of their consumers with that. Relying on nostalgia bait instead of innovating and actually making good games, especially a game for a series that's been waiting on like this. And I saw a lot of cope too. People were like, oh, well, Metroid's never really been a system seller and it's never really been something that's been ranked high. Okay, so then why are you defending it? Can you answer that? Why are you defending something that you're admitting is not that great? That is so fucking weird, guys. Metroid Prime 4 ultimately should be a celebration. It's been how many years of waiting since we saw the trailer? Like 8, and 2 decades since the original Prime, and an entire generation of players basically grew up replaying these games, and they've been waiting for this. Right? But instead of excitement, we're getting these weird mixed scores. It's good but not great scores. That's not good enough for Metroid Prime 4. I'm sorry. In my opinion, that's not good enough. This is a series that releases once in a blue moon. Where's the hype behind it? Where's the power behind it? I'm playing it so I can find out for myself. Again, I already said that. But a normal game dropping at 80 on Metacritic, like any other third-party game, whatever, that's cool. And 80 means it's worth playing. It's not bad by any means. But Metroid Prime 4 is a franchise built on genre-defining excellence, guys. And 80 feels like a warning light. And anybody that doesn't agree with that, you're coping. Okay? At first, the game looks absolutely solid, guys. And the reviews seem pretty solid, but then Nintendo Life gave it a 9. IGN and everybody, 8s. It's pretty standard, okay, 9s and 8s. But then you started to see things like GamePro and Games Radar and VGC giving it 7s and 6s, and Game Reactor gave it a 6. VJC is one of the few outlets out there that a lot of people kind of trust. If they're ranking this game a 6, You got to pay attention to that. Now, oh, we're taking critic scores serious. You got to take it into account, right? But also, you got to find out for yourself as well, which is why I'll be playing it. But then there's people talking about this. And like me, I said, imagine waiting nearly 2 decades for Metroid Prime 4 just to get another perfectly average, perfectly safe, perfectly forgettable release. That's the thing is Nintendo, they play it safe. They rely on that nostalgia bait. They don't want to take risk. And it sucks because this is a game that they should have at least tried to do more than that. Because for a lot of us, Metroid isn't just a game. Okay, it's childhood memories. It's late nights playing Super Metroid, playing Prime, seeing for the first time ever FPS on the GameCube just blew our fucking minds. And then Metroid Dread a few years back was amazing. Okay, Prime 1 isn't just a classic, it's legitimately one of the greatest games ever made. And I'm not even a big Metroid fan, and I'll admit it's one of the greatest games ever made. It's easily like in the top 10, 20 games of all time. So when a franchise like that comes back after nearly a decade of silence, we don't count Other M, but expectations aren't just normal game expectations here. That's why I'm saying, Nintendo fans, you're settling for mediocrity if you're treating this like a normal game. We want a great, excellent game with great atmosphere, isolation. We want to feel like Metroid is coming back with more things to do and more of like that fucking oomph than ever before, guys. This isn't Zelda. Why are they trying to make it like Zelda? They had that Marvel banter with that cringe dialogue conversation, that scene that's been trending social media. This is Metroid, okay? Be Metroid. Be Metroid. Why? The problem here is that Metroid is getting Zelda-fied, okay, from what it looks like. And it feels like a punch in the fucking gut, right? Influencers, early reviewers, they started hinting that Metroid Prime 4 is structured like a Zelda game. There's a hub zone, dungeon like areas, key collecting, towers to unlock. That's cool, but it's completely not what makes Metroid Metroid. And if people wanted Breath of the Wild on a motorcycle, they would play Breath of the Wild on a motorcycle. As a matter of fact, I think there is an amiibo that unlocks a cycle on that. Fans, when they want Metroid, they want isolation, they want tension, they want exploration without training wheels. And instead, it looks like, according to multiple impressions, that we got hand holding NPCs like companions that were cringe, bike troopers, awkward humor, dialogue that feels like a Reddit meme thread. Why? Accessibility baked so deep that it ruins the atmosphere. This isn't about change is bad, okay? Because they should have did change that was risky. I feel they should have went above and beyond. It's about trying to sell a niche franchise by imitating something more popular. Like they're like, oh, Zelda's good. Let's make this like Zelda. It breaks the soul of what made the original Metroid Prime and other Metroid games special, guys. It's not fucking Zelda. Stop trying to make it like Zelda. Now, let's talk about the sales reality nobody wants to admit. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Metroid has never sold well, and that's the cope that a lot of these people are using as an excuse for the 80s. Apparently, only 22 million copies across 40 years. That's shocking considering that Metroidvania is literally a genre name for like games of this nature. And since Metroid doesn't sell well, Nintendo seems scared often at times. Scared enough to play it safe. Like I said, scared enough to inject NPCs and tutorials and sprinkle a little bit Zelda here and there to widen the appeal. I don't know. I think they did this because of sales. They're hoping that this works, and it's not what Metroid fans wanted. Let's be real here, guys. It's not because it fits the franchise. It's because they needed the game to recoup a budget that is rumored to be massive, especially when they've had to cut it down twice. Two different development teams have worked on this game. I just don't think it's going to be good. I could be proven wrong. And when I say that, of course it's going to be good, but it's not going to be as good as it should have been. It's going to feel like it's just there. It's just going to feel like it's another game when it shouldn't be. Okay? And this could possibly be the end of 3D Metroid, which is something that nobody wants to think about. If Prime 4 can't break out, this might be the last one for a very long time. And it's already been a very long time for Metroid games. 2D Metroid will always survive. Those games are cheap, they're fast to make, they're consistently excellent. Metroid Dread was fantastic. But 3D Metroids, you're spending $100 million to develop these, and they still struggle to sell and they get mixed reactions. So don't be surprised if Prime 4 doesn't hit expectations that Nintendo will retreat back to safe territory. They won't be making a Prime 5, no bold experiments, just 2D entries until the next one, right? So I don't know. I think it did not have to be this way, in my opinion. It really didn't. And from what I'm seeing already on social media with people giving their takes, I'm a little worried. Again, we will be playing this. I will be, as you're watching this, I'm probably watching Kill Bill, the whole affair, because I got a 12 o'clock movie screening for that. And I'll be buying the copy on the way home of Metroid Prime 4. And we'll get dick deep into it sometime tonight. So make sure you're subscribed with notifications so you don't miss when I start streaming. What time will I be going live? I have no clue. Probably, I would say 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Central. Might be even earlier. But we don't need NPCs cracking awkward dialogue in our Metroid games. We don't need yellow paint, you know, so they can handle and guide us. We want atmosphere. We want loneliness. We want the fear that, from knowing that no one's coming to help you in space. When you're in space, nobody can hear you scream. Because that was what made Prime legendary. It didn't hold your hands, guys, and that's what seems what's missing from this entry, right? This new direction. And yeah, I'm still going to play it, guys. Okay, Metroid fans, there's some kind of special kind of cursed gamer. Okay, we all talk trash on it. We yell at Nintendo, and then we complain about the writing, and then we still pre-order it anyway. And Nintendo knows they have us. Okay, they know they have us. That's why they're playing it safe. That's why they just do nostalgia bait. I'm going to be streaming this. I'm going to be diving into it with an open mind. And I truly hope that the game proves the reviewers wrong, proves my first impression wrong. Because Samus does deserve better. Metroid fans, you guys deserve better. I know I've given Metroid shit in the past. But after 8 years of waiting, being good isn't good enough, okay? We have to fucking stop doing that. Stop just, oh, it's good, so it's fine. Okay? Think about it. And if you got the game, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on Metroid Prime 4, if it's worth the $70 that it is. If you have not been subscribed to this channel yet, hit that subscription, like I said. Don't forget to hit that like or the dislike. I'll see you on the next one, guys. You have a good one. Peace out.